Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got this AMA Panda Studios life-size Spawn in finally after so long of waiting and so much anticipation. I'm so happy to have this. This is some promo shots that we got when the project was announced. There's a couple differences from what we're seeing here to what I got, but overall I'm really happy. I'm so hyped. This is one of my favorite characters. So let's get into it and see every part of this thing. Okay, here are the boxes that the piece came in. 3 separate boxes. All were pretty light, which I was thrilled about because I can't stand these super heavy boxes anymore. So I'll take the 3. It's just the cardboard boxes with styrofoam inside, no art box. I was kind of bummed it was styrofoam, honestly, but it held everything really well, and especially the collar and the cape, I was really concerned about that, how they were going to ship it, but it came perfect. Everything was great. It didn't make a huge mess, so it worked. I'll take it. So this is all the smaller pieces that came inside. It all came individually wrapped in a bag. We have the shoulder spikes, we have a little art card, the cape holder kind of chest garments of the skulls, and my absolute favorite part, the remote that turns the light on. Absolutely the best part of the whole thing. So the art card's really cool. I like the real 90s style, and I don't know, just captures the character in the era really well. This is the back of it. Just credits to everybody. Number 17 of 35, so pretty low edition size. Made in Thailand. Nice little art card. 17 of 35, just kind of more of the same. Now my favorite part, this is the remote that turns the light on the statue, which I think every statue company should adopt. This is the best thing ever. I'll actually light this thing up with that, and I love the keychain. This is a little part of the cape around the collar that keys in just so it can fit around the neck, and the art on the bottom of the base. This is the best photo I could get because it's a little awkward doing it by myself, but you get the idea. So this is the Spawn when you pull him out of the box. He's basically all one piece from the head to the base, which I was hyped about. Again, just the simpler, the better for me. You can see the plug in the back where the power goes into. You can display this without the cape, and it comes with an extra shoulder spike. So if you want to do that, if you don't have the room for the cape, but for me, the cape was a must. So this is the logo that came on the front. I do really like the gold, but full disclosure, mine didn't actually come attached. I asked them about it, and they said they just simply forgot. Which, we're all human. I get it. It happens. I attached it with some glue, but I thought that was a little weird, and maybe some people wouldn't be comfortable doing that. I paint statues, and so I didn't mind, but they said that was the only one that had that issue. So just keep an eye out for that. So here's a closer look at the texture, which this statue has plenty of. Maybe could be probably my favorite part because it's to scale for the piece, and it's great. I'm pretty sure that this is traditionally sculpted, so you can tell just by how organic it is, but still a very good job and very clean. But the texture in this is so deep, kind of just makes you want to put your hands on it and touch it. The vein work in the neck, all of that just looks amazing. I do like how the chest and his armor kind of looks stone. It's pretty awesome, and a blend of fantasy but also kind of medieval. The back has this cool vein work going on, which you don't really see that much in the movie, but they included it, and I like it. It brings a little bit more color to the piece without being overly done, and I do like the bone color on the spinal cord in the back. That's all great. More texture on the cowl and the mask, just done really well. Very believable, super clean, very symmetrical. I absolutely love it. The texture on this thing is unreal. And here's a photograph of the back of the statue, of the base where you can see the power goes in. I'm just noticing this picture is absolutely terrible, so sorry about that. But there is another hole to the left, which looks like maybe they were trying to figure out something with the power, and maybe they just got it wrong, so they went to the right a little bit for the power. The power plugs in easily, it turns on easily, all of that's great, but I'm not quite sure what that hole to the left is. It doesn't obviously do anything, and I would have thought they would have like filled that in and just touched it up, but mine has it. I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. You don't see it at all, but it's there. But other than that, I am very impressed with the electronics in the piece. They're awesome, and we're going to get into more detail on that in a second. And just a quick profile of Spawn without the cape. It's still very impressive without the cape. I mean, if you needed to, you could display it just like this, no problem at all. But again, here's more of that texture, which I think it's like my favorite part. It just makes it so much more believable. And a quick straight on shot, just texture overload. They did such a good job. Okay, so here is the collar and the cape. It comes in two separate pieces. It's made of like a fiberglass material, and there are two bolts hanging out of the bottom of the collar that go into two holes in the cape part. It gives you two wing nuts to screw with your hand. You just kind of tighten them lightly. It actually holds it really well, and it's a really sound structure, so that's cool. And it literally just rests right on top of his shoulders. The back kind of sits on the back table, and the shoulder parts are magnetic. It all fits in and kind of tells you where to put it. I love that the skulls on the chest are magnetic as well. There's no holes, there's no keys, nothing like that. The magnets are really, really strong, and you can move the bust around and they're not really gonna fall off. So I was really hyped on the magnet part of the whole thing. But yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. So here is a full 360 shot of it. It has an amazing profile, like the collar on the cape with his head hanging out. It's absolutely perfect. He's not too tucked into the collar, which I kind of thought might have been a thing, but it's really not. He hangs out perfect. It fits naturally. I absolutely love it. It's tall and has so much presence. So here is the remote that I love so much. I love the keychain, and you literally just hit on and the off button to click it on and off. The statue itself has this weirdly satisfying click. Like, I don't know if it's a sound effect or if it's like the light clicking on. I don't know. It makes this really nice click sound, but here are better shots of the magnetic parts that go on. You cannot really see the seam, like where they magnetize. There's no gap or anything, so it looks amazing. And here's a close-up shot of the LED eyes. You'll notice like a texture in the eyes, and essentially the light, I guess, sits deeper inside of the head, and the eyes are a really thick green amber, like kind of acrylic, and they're actually these micro bubbles inside that create a really cool texture, which I like. If it was too clear, you would see into it, and that wouldn't really be great. But this is absolutely perfect. I like the texture. It was a really good creative decision, and yeah, it's just one of the small details that I really like about this piece. This is the seam line where the collar attaches to the cape, which isn't my favorite thing. It's actually, I think, the one drawback from it. The cape sits into the slots of his veins really well. Now, the texture of the cape is pretty crazy. From far away, it kind of makes it this weird leather velvet looking material, which I absolutely love. Here you can hear it. It's kind of like the texture of a grip tape of skateboard. It's pretty strong, it's really thick. You know, I don't think it's gonna warp or break or anything, but it does feel like it's exactly like the top texture of a skateboard on the grip tape. It's really rough, but it looks awesome how the light hits it. The cord does hang out of the back, and there's no real gap for it, so the cape kind of sits on it. You don't really want it to hang out the side because you'll notice it. But here it is in my collection with my other Spawn stuff. I've been waiting to put it here for a minute, but I love that I can just come over and click the lights on, enjoy it, click them off whenever, no reaching around crazy buttons. That's the best part. Companies, take note. This is an amazing idea with the remote. Keep that going. I love it.